Welcome to the Below Football Kaizer family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to be the first to get the latest news. Cedric Kaizer hits back at Kaizer Chiefs critics. Judge us at season's end. Kaizer Chiefs coach Cedric Kaizer has hit back to critics who continue to question him and co-interim coach Khalil Ben Youssef being retained at Natch Arena to finish the season. Cedric Kaizer is finally standing up for the under-fire Kaizer Chiefs technical team, knowing they are not everyone's cup of tea and that Rome wasn't built in a day, while insisting they will bask in the glory of their success at the end of the season. Kaizer and Khalil Ben Youssef have been steering Chiefs ship since the early part of the season. Their appointment was bizarre, given that the club decided to retain them after sacking their superior and head coach, Nasreddine Nabi. They have done their bit to show that they are the right men for the job, guiding McCarthy to third place in the Betway Premiership with 16 games to go, as well as qualification for the CAF Confederation Cup group stage. Still, they have attracted more naysayers than admirers. There remains a large group of McCarthy faithful, fellow coaches, and pundits who feel they are out of their depth and do not have what it takes to coach a club of Chiefs caliber. Critics add that while the duo have the credentials to coach some of the biggest clubs on the continent, coupled with a solid coaching track record, their most notable success came under Nabi, making it more confusing why the club decided to retain them. Kaizer, in particular, has been heavily scrutinized, with many feeling that he is more of an interpreter than a coach, having doubled up in the interpretation and assistance roles under the Tunisian. The soft-spoken Congolese, after their 1-0 win over Lamontville Golden Arrows during their league restart at FNB Stadium on Tuesday night, wore a defiant tone, declaring that he and the rest of the technical team are not at the club by chance. "I don't feel that I am not trusted. Instead, I feel very supported within the team, the management, the play." History created by McCarthy. McCarthy entered the Premier Soccer League and Kaizer Chiefs history books on Tuesday evening when he scored McCarthy's lone goal in their 1-0 home league win against Golden Arrows, to begin 2026 on a winning note and move up to third in the league standings. McCarthy, who scored his first senior goal for the club, became the second member of his family to score in a league game for McCarthy, joining his father, Fabian McCarthy. They become the first father and son duo to score for Chiefs against the same opponents in the PSL era, which commenced in 1996-97. McCarthy Sr. scored for McCarthy in a 3-1 away win over Abafana Besthenda at Kings Park in Durban on September 14, 2005. The history is not lost on Aiden, who says, "It's quite interesting. I was 2 years old when my dad scored against Arrows in 2005, and knowing that I emulated him makes it historic. I was not aware that he had done that, and I was not expecting that I would do the same." The younger McCarthy was also pleased to open his goal-scoring account for Chiefs, saying, "It is amazing that my first goal happened against a team that my father also scored against, as it was my first goal for the club and will be one for the history books, one to remember." He also shares the special message he received from his father, revealing, "It is also ironic that before the game, my dad sent a message and said I should get on the score sheet." Kaizer, he is a player with character. Kaizer Chiefs gave their DDC captain, Thulani Cash Mabeso, a senior team debut on Tuesday night in their Betway Premiership League 1-0 win over Golden Arrows at the FNB Stadium. Talking to the media in the post-match press conference, coach Cedric Kaizer praised the youngster, saying that he is a player with character who likes playing going forward, not backwards. Read, McCarthy's club confirms new SA signing. "I think he's a player that showed us that he can be consistent because the biggies." Chiefs Kaizer, some teams think they are entitled to win. "They do everything to make things happen, even when some of these things are not hones," said the Chiefs co-head coach. Kaizer Chiefs Cedric Kaizer has voiced his opinion on Sunday's Africa Cup of Nations final. Picture, Sydney Seshabadi/Gallo Images. Kaizer Chiefs co-head coach Cedric Kaizer believes Senegal's decision to walk off the field in protest during their victory in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations final does not reflect well on the continental game. Also read, Chiefs give update on January signings. But he also criticized the behavior of teams from some parts of Africa in what could be seen as a criticism of Morocco. Chiefs Kaizer, they do everything to make things happen. The North African side have been widely vilified after a video emerged in the final of Moroccan ballboys trying to steal the towel of Senegal goalkeeper Edouard Mendy. There are some teams from some parts of Africa that think they are entitled to win when things don't go their way, said Kaizer. Read more. Opinion: Senegal deserve AFCON title despite walkout madness. They do everything to make things happen, even when some of these things are not honest. For example, when we played Zamalek in the CAF Confederation Cup group stages, we conceded a goal 2 or 3 minutes in. But after that for 90 minutes their players were falling down every time the ball went out of play. That is their mentality, and when you do that to them they start complaining. The AFCON was tremendously entertaining with games at a high level. But some things we saw yesterday, in the final, were shameful for African football. To walk off the pitch is not good and a precedent we should all condemn. It should not be allowed to be a way of protesting. The penalty was true. Senegal coach Pape Thiaw led his players off the field after Morocco were awarded a penalty in stoppage time. This came minutes after Senegal had a goal at the other end. Rule 6 keepers, 1 dream, Chiefs safe hands. Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper Brandon Peterson praises 2 young keepers stepping up to train with the first team while still playing in the dstv idiski challenge. Chiefs revealed that 6 goalkeepers are training under coach Elise Mzoufi, Brandon Peterson, Bruce Bvuma, Fiacre Ntwari, Bontel Malef, and youngsters Takalani Mazamba, 18, and Naftali Makona, 19. Peterson believes the exposure to first-team training is a crucial step in their development. I think the younger ones, they're very good goalkeepers. I think they've shown it at the DDC level in the games they've played, said Peterson. The experienced keeper said a lot of people have been speaking about the 2 youngers and that it's important to have them part of the first team because that's the next step for them. That just lights up that fire in the belly to say that this is where I want to be. And once you're part of that setup, you don't want to look back. You motivate yourself, you keep working hard because that's where you want to be. So for me, very good goalkeepers and looking forward to working with them. Asked who has impressed him the most, Peterson both the teen keepers were talented. I think both of them. Takalani and Naftali. Both of them are different kind of goalkeepers but very talented, very hardworking and I've been impressed by both of them. Former Kaizer Chiefs transfer target the hero as Nigeria's Super Eagles clinch record-extending AFCON bronze after Liverpool superstar Mohamed Salah and Manchester City's Omar Marmush flop. After falling to beat Morocco in the post-match penalties in the semi-final, this time around, the Super Eagles were sharp as they outclassed the Pharaohs. The West Africans clinched a record-extending AFCON bronze medal following their win over Salah-led Egypt. Now that the battle for bronze has been settled, all eyes are on the ultimate prize, which will be contested for on Sunday between Senegal and the hosts, Morocco. Nigeria outclass Egypt. Nigeria are the Africa Cup of Nations bronze medalists after beating Egypt 4-2 in the third-place playoffs through post-match penalty shootouts in Casablanca on Saturday. After a goalless draw in regulation time, the teams went straight to the penalty kicks, where Nigeria reigned supreme, clinching a record-extending AFCON bronze medal. After a goalless draw in regulation time, the teams went straight to the penalty kicks, where Nigeria reigned supreme, clinching a record-extending AFCON bronze medal. Although the Super Eagles missed their first penalty, they were precise in the subsequent ones and managed to win the bronze medal. The opposite can be said of Egypt, who were let down by their English Premier League stars. Meanwhile, the Pharaohs enjoyed moments of dominance in the early stage of the first half, but they failed to make use of their advantage of giant ball possession. As Egypt pressed, the Nigerians were left with no choice but to attempt orthodox means to stop their opponents from wreaking havoc. One particular moment is when Bright Osei Samuel made a rough challenge, and the referee, Jalal Jade, was left with no option but to give the Egyptians a free kick in the 12th minute. Just like it was the case with their earlier chances, The record AFCON champions lost also this one as Mustafa Mohamed sent his effort wide and demand raised for Gaston Serino to extend his contract with Kaizer Chiefs. He must change his attitude. The midfielder's contract is understood to be expiring when the current season concludes in June. With that in mind, he is among the players who should now be in talks with McCarthy to extend their contracts or part ways when their deals eventually expire.